So it would seem that Hassan Piker is in a little bit of a pickle. You see, Hassan Piker is a staunch socialist, a person advocating for the poor. Can you imagine where the poor would be without the help of Hassan Piker? He is the person that stands between the rich and the needy. In fact, he likes to put it on his shirt. He likes to display to other people. He likes to signal just how much he dislikes rich people. So he managed just to buy a very cheap house of $2.74 million. And because of this, a lot of people are jealous. A lot of people are issuing criticism. And here you have Hassan saying that if you criticize him, you're literally like Breitbart. Now, there is an interesting thing that I see all the time. And it's this really, really cringy meme. Where you have like a peasant saying we should improve society somewhat. And you have like the zinger going, it's like, yet you participate in society, curious, I'm very intelligent. And this is what I see a lot of champagne socialists post whenever one of their talking heads is exposed for being a millionaire. It's kind of funny, like Bernie Sanders used to say, millionaires and billionaires. And now it's just the billionaires. I mean, I understand inflation and all, but millionaires are fine now. So it's funny that you have an ideology where the rich are the people that are richer than you, just a little bit richer than you. So even if you're a millionaire, you can still be a socialist. Brilliant! Wow, what an ideology that's definitely going to change the world. Now, the interesting thing about this is that no one is upset that Hassan Piker bought a home. I understand the need to buy a house, okay? Like, I don't think that socialists should go out and rent. But Hassan is one dude, right? According, what is that from Karl Marx to each of their ability, according to their needs, something? I'm pretty sure Hassan Piker knows that line. Does he really need a mansion? Do you really need $2.8 million? What does that do to the environment? So let me get this straight. If I go to McDonald's, I shouldn't get a plastic straw because I'm hurting Mother Gaia. But a $2.8 million mansion, is that good for Mother Gaia? Is it pleasing? Mother Gaia, does she like that? Does she touch herself or does she summon Captain Planet? Which one is it? So like that's, what people are pointing out. It's like, really, $2.8 million as a person who says, eat the rich. Now, I want to say that the left, and by the left I mean like woke people, as well as like socialists, they have a crisis. And the crisis is the hero crisis. And by hero, the champion, the hero is a person that lives the life and is an example to others. Like, I can't think of a single woke person that would say, hey, you need to be more like X. Why can't you be like X? Like, X is the example. Look, on my side, right, I consider myself to be a moderate right-winger. Like, I consider myself to be a conservative. I definitely think that getting married is good. It's a ticket out of poverty. 2 incomes in the household. 2 families uniting. You don't have, like, more resources to network and find jobs and whatever. Like, I think that's a great thing. Having children is good because when you're old, you're going to have still people coming over for Christmas, right? And because of that, I live the life. Like, I don't just tell it to other people. No, I got married. I got a house. I'm planning to have kids. Like, I'm doing what I'm telling other people to do. I look at other YouTubers. Count Dankula, same thing. Married guy, got his house, got his shit together, right? Sargarov Akkad, married guy. Bering, married guy. Like all of the people that are moderates, like from my side of the fence, we live our life the way we preach. Like and by the way, we don't preach that much. Like I don't come on this channel that often to tell you guys how to live your life. But if someone asks me, hey, like V, what is your advice for such and such? I would say, look, don't bother trying to change the world. Don't bother trying to change society. Because unless you're a millionaire or a billionaire, you're not going to be able to. But what you can do is like you can influence the people around you. And you can try to have a stable relationship, settle down, start a family, and it's probably going to provide you happiness. Like these are the things you can control. These are so I try to live my life the exact same way I preach to others. But whenever I see like a woke person, like a socialist or whatnot, like a millionaire, like a Bernie Sanders individual, living the dream, living the luxury, and telling other people, hey, you need to stop buying plastic straws while they're flying private jets. And by the way, like all these socialists, they used to criticize religious people for literally the same reasons. Like, look, if you don't live by your holy book, why are you preaching the holy book to others? And this is a valid criticism, by the way. Like in Romania, the Orthodox Church, they didn't go out and preach Christianity to indigenous people. They weren't into that colonial stuff. They didn't get a pedophilia scandal. They didn't get the witch burnings baggage. Like none of that thing happened with the Orthodox religion. But like the main criticism that people have today in Romania on the Orthodox Church is that sometimes you see, not all, but there are certain villages that are dirt poor. I mean, levels of poverty that most Americans can't even imagine. Like Detroit would look like a luxurious place compared to some Romanian villages. Like think medieval stuff. Like people still go out in order to take a shit in the PV. I'm not kidding. They don't have electricity, right? Like the Amish are living the life compared to some of these villages. And in that village, you're going to find like a priest that's driving a Ferrari and he's getting out with his iPhone and stuff, right? And people hate that. Why do they hate that? Because the same priest is going to lecture you about greed and about how you need to donate money to the church and the poor and the needy, right? Now here's the thing. I'm not saying that priests shouldn't have money. But what I'm saying is that if you are a priest, you shouldn't at least display levels of obscene wealth to the masses. I know like the Catholics are different. I know like the Pope likes to display the gold. I probably upset a lot of Catholics here. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that if you're lecturing people about like trying to live a humble life and trying to lecture them about, hey, like you shouldn't be greedy, you should donate, right? You can't really just flaunt this wealth in front of people that barely have 2 coins to rub together. Maybe I'm a little bit exaggerated. I don't know. But I just think that it's not okay. And by the way, like not all priests do it. Like some of the priests that I know don't do it, and they're very respected in their communities. Why? Because they're an example. They actually like have churches where they feed the poor and they try to help people. And that's how you actually convince people, by being an example. What Hassan Piker is doing is definitely not being an example. Here's the main problem, right? I recently bought a house. And for Romanian standards, I will say that it's kind of expensive. I'm not going to lie. I paid well, I'm still paying. It's still a loan. But I got a house of $90,000. The difference is, though, I'm not the one advocating socialism. So I'm not the one advocating for like people to pitch in together and blah blah blah. But I'm thinking like I would never need a bigger house. Like even if I were to have more money, I would never buy a larger house because I don't need it. Why would I need something more? It's already more than enough. It's already incredibly luxurious. So the idea that like someone would spend 2.74 million is ridiculous. Like if I had this amount of money, I'm not even kidding. I would probably donate some to a hospital. I would at least try to open a business if I'm a savvy capitalist so I can provide jobs to people. But I guess like that's the problem with Hassan Piker, right? So people are trying to say it's like, oh yes, well, unlike Jeff Bezos, Hassan Piker pays his taxes. So I don't know if Jeff Bezos literally pays zero tax. I press X to doubt on that one. But even if that's the case, Jeff Bezos creates jobs for hundreds of thousands of people and they pay taxes. And even when you look at that, like how many people does Hassan Piker employ? Last time people talked about Hassan Piker, he wasn't employing anyone. In fact, he actually got someone to do some work for him and didn't pay him. So, to me, this doesn't say anything about Hassan Piker. Like, he is a savvy capitalist. He knows how to rig the system. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he won at capitalism. What he does is something that you can't do in a socialist nation. Like the idea of YouTube and super chats or Twitch and super chats is the most capitalistic invention ever. The Soviets would never come up with this system. The theocratic regimes would never come up with this system. Like these people, like Hassan Piker, are mega capitalists. Like they can't run away from what they are. But what's interesting about it is the people donating money to them, because they're also socialists. Like, I understand if you're a capitalist and, you're watching betting and you're like, yeah, betting is kind of funny. Like, I love the job that he does and he entertains me. Here's a super chat betting. Boom. That's fine. But if you're like a socialist and you're like, oh, I want socialism to happen in the world, and you give money to Hassan Piker, you're giving money to this. This is what you're funding. And then you have like Ethan Klein saying that Hassan shouldn't be able to own a nice house. Yeah, he should be able to own a nice house, Ethan. But really, a $3 million one? Is that a limit? Like, what if it was like $100 million? Would you still be fine? Or apparently, I don't know. And by the way, like Ethan Klein, if I'm not mistaken, is also a social justice inclined individual that talks about helping the poor and the needy. And he's also rich. So I guess like rich people are together. They're like taxi drivers, huh? Like they help each other out. There is a difference between making millions on Twitch and paying 50% in taxes and Jeff Bezos worth $150 billion. And by the way, Jeff Bezos being worth $150 billion, I see like a lot of left-leaning people not understanding how this works. Yes, he owns $150 billion in stocks and in factories and buildings. But if you were starting, like let's say tomorrow, Jeff Bezos wants to cash out and he starts selling stocks, the prices would plummet. It wouldn't actually be $150 billion. Do I think like Jeff Bezos is poor? Absolutely not. But like that's not really how it works, is what I'm saying. Like his real net worth is probably worth less. But like comparing Bezos, the richest man in the world, with Hassan Piker, like Hassan Piker, I'm pretty sure he's probably in the 1% in the world. Not in America. I don't know. Maybe in America, if you have like a house that much, $3 million, maybe you're close to the 1%. But there's so many nations where Hassan Piker would probably be the richest guy in that nation. Like, and by the way, like think about PewDiePie. PewDiePie has a lot of money. He donated to fighting AIDS in Africa. He donated to get water to African villages. But he said the gamer word, and because of that, he's an evil, evil man and should be condemned. He's a bad, bad person. And when PewDiePie got robbed, do you guys remember that there were leftists cheering about it? I remember. I remember about that. But people like Hassan Piker, they're good individuals. They're great. They're fantastic. So it's the hypocrisy that really bothers me. I got nothing against Hassan. Like, Hassan is a very smart individual. I would probably do the same if I was in his shoes. Good on him. He completely deserves that house. At least, like, let's put it this way. He suckered people that are into socialism. Like, all those people could have actually pitched their money in and donated to an activist group that could have done some harm to the world. But instead, they bought Hassan Piker a nice mansion. So at least that's a good thing. I look at Hassan Piker and I see a lightning rod. Like a lightning rod that attracts the money away from bad people into his mansion. His mansion isn't hurting anyone except Mother Gaia. So there's that. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.